It's good to see y'all. I'm Matt, the director over the Shimek Before and After School program. Welcome to our house. We're excited to be able to bring some curriculum into your homes, and hopefully you'll hang out and check out what we've got going on today and in future videos.
I'm Claire, and this is the BSP Test Kitchen.
Boom. We know that you're all at home, sort of stuck in your space, trying to be safe, be healthy. We're hoping that you're also trying to be safe in your kitchen and eat healthy when you can, and we're hoping to help you out with some of that.
When you're doing cooking, there's a few things that can be potentially dangerous. One of them is knives. Make sure that you are being super careful anytime you're cutting anything. Make sure that you're also checking in with parents before you use any kitchen equipment.
Of course, the other big danger zone here is going to be the stove, and if we get to things using the stove top, you got to make sure that it's at appropriate height for you, or that you're talking with your parents ahead of time, because there's a huge potential for scalding yourself, spilling something with hot water or hot oil, or just touching hot pans and getting burnt in general.
And make sure that when you talk to your parents to get permission, you also talk to whoever else is in the kitchen with you, because with these potentially dangerous things, you have to make sure you're communicating with other people who are around you, because if you have a knife and someone is right behind you and you turn around, you could hurt someone. So make sure that you're talking to each other.
Yeah, when we met working at Oasis, we got in good habit of using things like the term sharp, if we're carrying knives around, and saying it nice and loudly so that everyone can hear, or saying, you know, hot, or I'm carrying around something hot, so that no one accidentally turns around and bumps into you while you have a pot of hot water or some such.
So we're going to start off with some basics, some simple knife cuts, and most importantly, knife safety, and hopefully we'll translate that into some recipes as we move forward in future videos.
Cool.
Let's get ready. I like to have an apron in the kitchen to keep my clothes clean, and a towel to dry my hands. Matt's gonna get ready. He's got a fantastic cupcake apron as well. Good footwear is important in the kitchen. Don't go barefoot. Have nice non-slip shoes. We've got our cutting board here. If yours is slipping around like this plastic one is, you can take a towel, get it a little bit damp, and put it underneath, and it should keep it nice and stable for you to cut on. Now that your cutting board's ready, you should gather everything else that you'll need. I have some bowls here, as well as the knife. It's important to make sure that your knife is comfortable for you to use, that it's not too big and too small. You should hold it. It should feel secure and stable in your hand. Either hold it towards the front of the handle, or in my case, a little bit in front. It should be whatever feels safe and comfortable for you. When you're cutting, make sure to tuck your fingers back. It will be a lot safer when you have your hand flat. There's a higher chance of cutting yourself. We're gonna cut some cucumbers today, matchstick some carrots after we peel them, cut up some bell peppers, and I'll show you a simple way to dice an onion. Cucumbers first. We're gonna get a bowl in here for our scraps to go into. I take the tops and bottoms off of these guys. I'm gonna slice them in half. That flat surface will give us a nice solid base, and then we're going to chop them up, keeping those fingers tucked back, going at the speed that feels comfortable for you. Next up, we have our carrots. We are going to use a peeler to get the skin off first, being careful of your offhand fingers, because I have definitely cut myself with a peeler before and it is no fun at all. Next, we're going to take the top and bottom off these carrots. We're going to cut them into matchsticks or a julienne. I'm going to cut them down to the length that we want, in half. I'm going to cut them down into flats, and then in half again, because they're a little bit wide as they are. Now, if you wanted a dice for cooking, you would, as soon as you finish chopping them into matchsticks, you'd turn them 90 degrees and cut them down like that. Next, we're gonna cut up our bell pepper. I like to cut the bottom off first because it gives you that stable platform again. I think it's really important to have your vegetables not rolling around on you. It makes it a lot safer to cut. And then we're gonna take the sides off. And then we're gonna cut them down into strips. We'll take this white pith out as well. It doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste like much of anything. And again, if you wanted to cut these up into a dice, you just chop them the opposite direction after you're done, but these are for snacks. All right, onions. We're gonna cut it in half, from the top to the bottom. So there's two different ends on an onion. There's one side that's the root, and the blossom end is the side that we're gonna cut off. Then we're going to peel the outer layer off of the onion, and it should just rip off pretty easily. Next up, we're gonna cut horizontally 2 slices, and then after that, towards the root end, we're gonna make a couple slits, and then cut the onion up, and because of those slices we made, it should go real fast and easy. And then you have yourself a healthy snack. You don't have to eat the onions, they're for cooking later. And enjoy! Hope that you will all be able to spend some time in the kitchen trying out these knife cuts with supervision and help from a grown-up.